I recently attended this 10-day, you can't really call it a seminar or retreat because it's more like boot camp, but it was essentially rehab for the heart. It was 10 days of focusing on the things in our hearts, the hurdles or the boulders in our hearts that keep us from truly experiencing the complete freedom, the abundant life that God promises. And it was hard. It was really hard to face some things, really process some things that had happened when I was younger that made me put Jesus in a box. And one of the most pivotal moments was the guy who was kind of the facilitator of this entire 10-day session. He got right in my face, kind of right in my personal space, and he said, "Lisa, you are a hypocrite." He said, by not forgiving the people who molested you when you were little, you've essentially put yourself higher than God, and you've said that your forgiveness is more valuable than his. And he said, how does it feel to go around the country talking about the grace of the gospel, but not really believe it for yourself? Now, I could have stopped right there, and I could have been defensive. I could have said, how could I initiate forgiveness when I was just a little girl when those really hard things happened, or I've done the best I could. I've gone through Christian therapy. I've been in counseling. I've had mentors to really try to process some of those hard places. But I thought, I want to be completely free. And I said, it feels terrible. That corner of my heart that has been really, I've been so self-protective about it because there's so much shame there. I thought it feels terrible to not be completely free, to not completely trust Jesus. I will always be grateful for his confrontation, for the way he pushed me, because he confronted me because he cares about me. He wasn't trying to be a bully. He wasn't trying to be harsh. He was trying to help me get completely free. And when you've got a place in your heart that, golly, for me, that place in my heart that I had protected, there was a dragon of shame living there. And dragons aren't killed by holding hands and singing Kumbaya. It took something really confrontive for me to deal with that and to be completely free. And Jesus does that all throughout the Gospels. He wasn't a polite Savior. I mean, sometimes he threw verbal missiles at the feet of sinners, not to be mean, but so that they would admit their stuff and admit their need for him so that they'd be healed. And I love that Jesus is not always gentle. Sometimes Jesus is fierce, he's determined, he's tough, he's confrontive, because he wants us to be free. He doesn't want us to just be safe and comfortable. He wants us to be free, to experience absolute healing and absolute joy.